situation, which meant the house that I built, I had built. I had to leave that house while I let him stay there, while I paid the mortgage, paid the insurance, and all that stuff, just so I had to take my kids out of the situation. Long story short, some time had passed. We had the house up for sale. That was the agreement. He was able to live there. I retired from the Air Force. He was able to live in the house while I was still paying the mortgage, all that stuff, until we sold it. Well, after months and months and months, it was eating away at me that here I am going back, and now I'm living with my parents, where I'm 39 years old. I'm retired, have a full pension retirement from the Air Force. I have another job that I'm doing. I have, my kids that I'm taking care of and all this stuff. I have done my time. I have dedicated so much time to so many other people. Why am I back with my parents? Why am I back living at home? Fortunately, I was able to keep the ambit business because he knew darn well he wasn't going to build it. There's nothing he could do with it. But he wanted me to pay him an outrageous amount of money to keep the business. So I had two options. And I was a senior consultant by this point. Two options. Start over completely, or find some way to make it okay, to make him feel like he put a dig in on me. So I thought, I don't want to start over. I'm going to let him feel like he put that dig on me. So I give him $100 a month because I know that my business is way more valuable than that. And when he sees all the big stuff that I have coming in that he can't touch because he agreed to $100, that makes me feel better than anything. So now I have to say, along this way, because yes, I am single, along this way, I realized because of my 90-year-old grandmother that my best friend for 13 years, who was also a firefighter with me, and we had each other's back all the time. When he went in on a fire, I had his back. When I went in, he had my back. Our bins were beside each other where our bunkers were kept. And he was very close with my family. Our families kind of grew up together a little bit. Again, my best friend for 13 years, my 90-year-old grandmother looks at me and says, "Why don't you two start dating?" And we looked at each other and it was like, ew, no, that's just weird. Again, long story short, we ended up taking a trip together, taking my daughter with us on this trip, and just the way he treats my kids and loves my kids and how his kids love me to death. Brian, who's standing in the back there. He is a big part of why I've been able to do what I've done and had the courage to do what I've done, because he's always been there to support me. He's always had my back, and now I can proudly say that I finally found the man of my dreams. Yeah, it's not about that. It's about us. But no, he's phenomenal. I couldn't do it without him. Our passions and our dreams are the same. We have a passion to help the community the best we can. We have a passion to help the team the best we can. We have a passion to be involved as much as what we possibly can and make it more about everybody else than about ourselves. And with doing that, our goal with our ambit money is to be able to help foundations and stuff like that. Like this Rescue Her Foundation I'm just blown by it, because being in the military, we see a lot of those trafficking videos, and we get trained on human trafficking and stuff like that. And I know that stuff's around. I know it's here. I know it's close by here. We have a lot of ports that are near here, and I just look at the containers that are sitting out there, and when we drive to Philadelphia, I just wonder how many humans are in some of those containers that are out there, and that's sad. That's very sad. So one of our passions is to help children. So with what we've been able to do with Ambit so far, we've started a construction company because, oddly enough, he actually built my house that I'm back in. So we started a construction company, basically, that we're getting to a point where we can actually donate a house to someone who loses a house in a fire. Now, it's not going to be like a mansion. It's not going to be, this huge whatever. It's going to be something that they can start over with. But that's one thing that we've done, and it's the passion being if you lose a house in a fire, because we're both firefighters. The other thing is, with that, being able to get to the point where we could start a little farmette for special needs kids, and having them be able to come and play with the animals and that kind of stuff, because they need that, and we have a lot lot of friends and family who have kids with Down syndrome and kids with autism, and just to be able to have that is amazing. So that's another thing that we're gonna start. And on a side note, my daughter went to prom last night. Don't worry, it was not her prom, so it was okay that I missed it. But she was a date to someone who was on the king court, and one of the who won the king court was a boy with Down syndrome. And I cried this morning because I thought that was near and dear to my heart and special. And you know, all the kids loved it and supported that. So it just touches my heart. But that's one of the things that Brian and that's our desire. And to have somebody like that in my life is what helps to drive this. Because before, all I was surrounded by negativity. And that's it. I sucked. My kids sucked. Everything about me sucked. Because he wanted to make himself feel better. And now I'm with someone who, you're wonderful, you're amazing, you're the most talented person I know, which I think is full of crap. But hey, he's telling me this stuff, so it makes me feel really good. So, all right, so how do we build our business? Well, the biggest thing is do it all. You know, do everything you possibly can. All the tools that they give you, you know, all the steps, the system that they have, do it all. However, there's some things that you're good at, and there's some things that you're not. The things that you're good at, focus on that the most. Like, I know a lot of people have a hard time picking up the phone and calling people out of the blue. You want to still do that as much as you possibly can, but if that's not your specialty and that's not what you're best at and that's what's keeping you from advancing in your business, focus on something else. My thing is just getting out and talking to people. I love to interact with people and communicate and help people, and so I strike up conversations, you know, out in the middle of the mall or out in the middle of anywhere, and I'll invite them without them even realizing that they've been invited to look at the presentation, and you know, that's my specialty. It's not picking up the phone and making contacts. Brian's specialty is picking up the phone or, you know, getting on Facebook and meeting people and getting them to call him, and then they talk that way. That's his specialty, so that's what he does. So focus on the things that you do best. Do it all, but focus on the things that you do very well and fine-tune that, and that's what's going to help you grow. The other thing is, once you start to get a team, realize that your business is more than just about you. Your business is about everybody. Your business is about helping your entire team. And it's not just helping your team, it's helping somebody else's team too. Because that other person's team, if they're not helping the right way or doing the right thing, that's going to harm what you've done and what you've built. So you make sure that you're helping everybody, not just yourself. If you are afraid to go over and help this person be better at what they do because you think they're going to get further in their business than you are, get that out of your head. You need to help them as much as you help you and the rest of your team. Lead, 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 regardless of whether you're a marketing consultant, regional consultant, senior consultant, and so on. Lead your team and help everybody, and make sure you understand it's more than just yourself. And if you see on these handouts that I gave you, my thing is I love inspirational phrases and messages and stuff like that. What I took away from the conference last year, I think it was Elizabeth McCormick. It's bad that I don't remember who it was, but I'm pretty sure it was her, where she said about writing on your mirror, writing 5 things about yourself on your mirror that you want to be every day. So I did that. I went back that next day, and of course, you know, I had the negativity with me, like, what are you writing on the mirror for? Get that off the mirror. I don't want to see that. You don't want to see it because that's not you, that's me. So I wrote that stuff on there, and I think it was very helpful. So after that, I started, my house is filled now with these inspirational phrases all over the walls, and my daughter's like, seriously? We have to have the words on the wall? Yeah, we do, because I know it's not just helping me, it's helping anybody that enters my house.
That's right.
So that's why I do that. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the big push that I want to make is dream. Dream, dream, dream. You hear Chris Atkinson say it all the time. You need to dream. When we are little, we are surrounded by negativity. We're surrounded by people that are crushing our dreams. And we have it as kids. Oh, I want to grow up, I want to be a model, I want to be an actor, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to be a chemist, I want to, whatever you want to be. And a lot of times those dreams are crushed because of just somebody coming in and saying, you can't do that, you don't want to do that, that's horrible, that's an awful job, or you know, you're not going to make it with that. Get away from all that. Realize that your dreams are yours. Don't let anyone take it away from you. And since I've been doing this and since I've had my business back, I've been able to dream bigger and better my vision board is huge as far as the things that I want to do and am going to do, and I've said some things that I'm going to do that some people look at us and they're like, really? Yeah, really. And I'm going to do it. And when I do it, I'm going to say thank you to you, because you telling me that I can't made me do it even more.
That's right.
So the biggest thing that I'm going to do to walk away from here, from my stuff today, is just remember your dreams and keep them, and don't let anyone take them from you.
Wow.
So, yay!